Good evening, guys. Welcome to Beer Fan TV. Tonight, you join me. I'm in the pub. I'm having a beer in the garden. I'm in the pub. I've managed to get myself away from the wife and the kids. So I'm going to hide in here, have a beer. And I thought what we'd do is we'd just have a little chinwag, a little chat in the garden bar. I saw a post out by Baz, All the Beer No Idea, about perfect draft machines, and it got me thinking, and I thought, well, I'll give my opinion of what I think it is. And I thought at the same time I could just tell you a little bit, if you're thinking of buying one of these machines, I'll tell you what I think, the experience of. I've had the normal and the pro. I can tell you my thoughts on them. And if you're watching this video and you've got questions or you want to comment about this or anything, feel free to do it. We want to create a good little community for like-minded individuals where you can put a comment in, ask a question, because if there's any twats, I'm just going to delete the messages, if that makes sense. So feel free to put in whatever you like. So don't feel, I want people to be able to comment in the community, feel comfortable doing so. And at the same time as well, if you're a YouTuber or you're someone that has one of these perfect draft machines, you see an answer, feel free to put a comment in there. And also at the same time, if you are another YouTuber, put your channel in below as well, because if you review these machines or you do beer reviews and stuff, some of the people that watch this video might click onto yours and you might answer questions that they've got. So it's all about building a community, building it up with like-minded individuals, for us all to have a beer together and enjoy it. So before we crack on, get yourself a beer. I'm on the Estrella. I bought it from Lidl, and it's the great thing about Estrella is it's not like Madri, where it pretends to be or identifies as an English beer when it's actually a Spanish beer. It's actually English. This is properly brewed in Spain, and I've got it in the proper glass that it should be in, the Estrella glass. Lovely one, isn't it? You can get yourself one of those as well. Head over to Garage Bar. There's a 10% discount code that you can use. Have a good look. They've not just got Estrella on there. They've got all the other brands. They've got a really good accessory section. Guinness ones. They do loads of stuff on there. Have a good look at the website. You can use the 10% off. To the best of my knowledge, you can use it on anything in there, and you can get yourself your favourite glass for your beer. I always think it's about the experience, isn't it? I always like to have the right beer, the right glass for the right beer. I think it makes, you can't obviously bring the pub home, but you can bring as much of it as you can. And that might be a glass. You might get yourself over to Garage Bar and buy yourself one and have yourself a beer. Anyway, chinwag, what did I see? So I was surfing YouTube as I normally do, and I saw a little note that had been put on by Baz. Baz, All the Beer No Idea. He does a lot of the stuff on the Perfect Draft. He does all of the beer machines. He does a load on the pinter. He also does a lot of the local beers to him, breweries and stuff. He's, in my opinion, he does a load of beer, and I watch his videos. I think he's really good. I think he's one of the, there's some really good beer tubers out there, and he's one of the good ones. Look him up if you don't know who he is. But he put a comment on about the Perfect Draft, and the Perfect Draft is what got me into all of this stuff in the first place, because I originally had not a pinter, I originally had a sub, and when I was looking at buying a Perfect Draft, I went onto YouTube to have a look at what people thought. Had someone done a video on one, an unboxing or anything else like that, and I came across people like Baz's channel. Anyway, he's done any keg that comes out. You've got some other people on there as well, some guys that do them. But he was one of the people originals that used to do the beer reviews and had the machine, and he's done the blade and the lot. So I always trust Baz's reviews. And anyway, he put on there's been some price rises this week, and he made a good comment. And one bit that stuck in my mind was that obviously prices have gone up again on the Perfect Draft, and I know it's going to happen because of the cost of going up for everything. But he mentioned the keg returns are still only £5. That's not gone up when the prices have gone up. And I thought it was very sensible. And he mentioned, and I don't want to paraphrase it because I'm probably going to get it wrong. I haven't got it in front of me. But he comments about prices, comment about looking at things like the pinter because there's more bits on there, and made comments about maybe looking more at kind of your craft beers and coming away from Perfect Draft as much. Because he doesn't want to just review a keg for the sake of a keg release. It wants it to be something that he wants to drink and enjoy, which makes sense. Because these beers are getting expensive, they're not cheap, which I thought was great. It just got me thinking, when I first got into Perfect Draft, it was 2020, and it was COVID time. They were expensive, and there wasn't as many beers available. But I think the big difference was It was cheaper. There was a big discount code if you was part of Perfect Draft Kegs and Tips. You could go on, pick 3 beers, put this code in, and you would get 15% off. And it made it quite cheap and quite accessible, really. And they'll deliver them to your house. You know, you'd be able to get 3 kegs and spend between 60 and 70 quid. And in my eyes, I used to think to myself, well, I'm almost getting a keg, you know, for free. I'm only paying for 2. And you could choose the kegs. And cut long story short, obviously not COVID, sorry. And we had Brexit, well, of course you had COVID. But you had Brexit, and you obviously had the hyperinflation. Prices were impacted. And they removed the code. That was one of the first things that they done. And they said they had to start putting prices up because of Brexit and because of inflation. So no one likes that. And a lot of people got their backs up, but they stuck with it. And I was one of them, still ordering kegs. They released a new machine, which was this one here, PerfectDraft Pro. And I've had both of them. And I always stick by the same thing I always say. If you're a lager drinker, you're going to be all right with just a standard machine. If you're drinking beers that you want to play around with the temperatures, then maybe look at the Pro. The Pro app is getting better, and you can do things like adjust the temperature from the app. Look at your beer away from home. So on your way home on the train or whatever, you can go, oh, I know I've got 4 beers left in there. That'll be good for the football. Or you can put it onto standby. There's loads of different bits that you can do. You can adjust it from the app. Standby. You can put it on a scheduler, so it cools the beer on certain days and gets it a bit warmer. On other days when you know you're not going to use it, use less electricity. There's bits that you can do. If you can afford the PerfectDraft Pro, get the Pro. If you're thinking about, I'm not going to use it that much, I'm only going to drink lager on it, the standard machine is going to do you fine. So yeah, where was I? 2020, had the machine. 2022, changed the prices. Yeah, so the prices started to creep up. And to be honest with you, they removed the discount code and they started doing their own discounts, certain beers, and you can quite easily tell the stuff that they want to clear out, they'll put on the sale. The stuff that's selling okay probably won't go into the deals. And, you know, where they used to release good beers like the Trappist, remember when that came out, not come back, they done a really good IPA. And if you look at some of the beer reviews, one of the best IPAs that's ever been put on that machine was the Crew Republic IPA, and they had that for a while, and then that disappeared. You look at the releases now. Fast forward to today, and you're looking at Northern Monk, Peroni. You know, it's supermarket stuff. It's stuff that doesn't get you excited. And the Peroni, I mean, a couple of points I want to bring up. A keg of Peroni, if I bring it up on here, a keg of Peroni is £43.55. I know you're going to get £5 back, but you still got to pay that up front. So we'll base it on the upfront cost. £43.55 for 10 pints. That's £4.35 to drink Peroni at home, when you could buy a 600ml bottle for about £2.50 to £3 from your supermarket. You know, I think Baz is onto something here. I don't know what it is with Perfect Draft. The beers they're releasing are not as good as they used to be. The stuff they are releasing is more supermarket based. I mean, you know, if they were releasing stuff like Estrella, if you've had Estrella, it's a brilliant beer. It's so much better than the crap that they're releasing on there. Excuse my language. The stuff that they're releasing. There's nothing like Lauenbrau, a new Lauenbrau being released, or Spaten. Nothing like that. I mean, San Miguel's close. It's close, but it's not. You know, a lot of the stuff that we're getting now, they opened a kegging factory, I believe, in 22 or somewhere similar, to keep the costs lower. But here's my other problem. So, and I'm going to pick Stella. They've done this to a few different beers on the Perfect Draft, but I'm going to pick Stella. Stella, when I first got released, it used to be about £30 a keg, and it was the Belgian brewed Stella. Nowadays, since they opened the kegging factory, they use the UK brewed Stella, and they put that in the keg and they sell that to us. They haven't reduced the price, they've put the price up. And if you've had UK Stella and you've had Belgian Stella, you know there's a difference in taste. So the product in my eyes has got worse, but the price has gone up. And they're doing that across the selection of beers that they're releasing at the moment. I mean, the new one they've released this week is Northern Monk, A Little Faith. I mean, it's £39.90, call it £40, so it's £4 a pint. You could probably buy that in your supermarket for a third of that, a pint. I mean, I don't know. It's not the sort of thing that's going to blow my hair back and push me out to buy the kegs. Back in the day, I used to buy 3 kegs at a time using the discount code. And I used to put an order in every 4 to 6 weeks, and that was quite regular. Nowadays, the last order I'd done actually, I only bought 2, and it was for some IPA, white IPA that's been raved about by the guys on YouTube like Simo and Paul and Michelle. They said it was brilliant, so I thought I'd give it a go. And the new San Miguel, I thought I'd try because it's meant to be the German one, not the UK brewed under license one. So, you know, in my opinion, the Perfect Draft, what it was in 2020 to what it is today, is 2 totally different things. Even to the point, you know, I even said to myself, you know, if the machine stopped working, would I go out and replace it straight away with another machine? I don't know. I genuinely don't know if I would. And it's true, because I think the beer on it just isn't that great. I'm not buying as much as I used to, and I am finding myself buying more different stuff. You know, like the Estrella, you know, proper Spanish brewed Estrella. This is a really nice beer. If you compare this, have this with a Carlin or a Madri even, the difference is day and night. It's far better, and it's a proper beer, and it's the similar sort of price. You know, try both of them together and see what you think. But yeah, I just think, I do kind of agree with Barry. You know, I said in my reply post to Barry that I think the Perfect Draft is turning into a beer vending machine, beer supermarket vending machine. Now it's selling supermarket beer. It's the beer that used to be good is no longer great. And, you know, the releases that are coming out, you know, what happened to La Trappist? Why is that stuff not being released? What's happened to the beers similar to that one, and similar to the Crew Republic? They're not releasing great beers. And I think it's true, because if you look at some of these, I mean, if you've got people like Barry who's saying these things, and correct me if Barry sees this video, correct me in the comments below if I've got it wrong, but even guys like Big Bold Reviews, he was the big Perfect Draft beer guy. He used to review all of the kegs, and he used to review all of them with food. And you'll notice even his videos have dropped off now. He's not doing as many reviews as he used to, you know, because he's clearly, you know, the beers aren't as great as what they used to be. He's not reviewing as many as he used to do. I think the other one as well is the IPA. What was it? The Goose one. The Goose IPA. That was one of the better ones. And I think that's now brewed here in the UK under licence as well. There's a few that Perfect Draft have done and have ruined. And in my opinion, a bit like what Sports Direct done with brands like Umbro and other ones like that. Fill the shop with it, drop the price, devalue the brand, and they're doing the same. Stella, it's just expensive supermarket Stella, not as great. I love this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Another thing I saw this week, I wanted to share with you guys. Any of you rugby fans, obviously it's Six Nations. Guinness normally release a glass that you can get in the supermarket if you buy a certain amount of beer. I think they are doing something. If you have NitroSurge, you scan the box, you go online and you fill in a little questionnaire and they'll send you out a NitroSurge glass, I believe. Have a look into it, I don't know how true it is. If you can find it, Guinness has been so short, isn't it, in stock since December. It's crazy, I've never seen anything like it. But Morrison's have got, obviously, Brewdog, Black Heart, and then you get the glass in there, and it's one of the glasses I don't have, so I've bought it to go with it, so you can get yourself a Black Heart glass, and I don't mind Brewdog's Black Heart. It's similar to Guinness, and I'm going to whack it through the little NitroSurger machine. Now obviously you might miss out on the glass, and I think when I went into Morrison's, I think there was only about 2 or 3 on the shelf, there weren't many left, but get yourself up to Garage Bar, they might have it on there, and you'll get your 10% off. Worth doing it, worth having a look at. But more importantly, yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah. I think I said as well, I was going to tell you what I thought of the machine, the Perfect Draft machine. I think they're good. I think they're expensive. I genuinely think that when you first get the Perfect Draft machine, you start working your way through the beers, you're gonna spend more than you think you will, and you'll drink more than you think you will as well. But it's good fun in the process. A lot of the beers are in the supermarkets nowadays, so you can always buy one, try it in the supermarket. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it on the keg. I can only say there's only ever been 1 or 2 kegs I haven't been that keen on, and I think out of those kegs, I don't think they're even there anymore. I think the Dark Arts, I wasn't that keen on. I struggle to drink that one, but not many. A lot of them, it's beer in it, or IPAs and stuff like that. You're gonna be able to drink them. But it is a good machine, and I always say that if you're mainly going to drink lagers, you're going to be perfectly fine with a standard machine. It serves at 3 degrees, you'll be all right. If you can afford a little bit more, go for the pros. You can play around with it a little bit. And obviously you've got the chilling sections and stuff like that. It'd be a bit cheaper to run, I think. And if you've got like a pub like we've got in the garden, these get really hot in the summer. I think these machines cool a bit better than the other standard machine. So that could be an option for you to think about. But more importantly though, thank you for watching. Comments below, like-minded community for everyone to comment, share, whatever you want to do in the comments below. Let us know what you think.